What's going on, everybody? Chris Classic Car Vlog Live. The final review for Wrestlepalooza. I finished watching it when I had time to, so we are here to talk about it. And we are also going to talk about ESPN's comments about it. Nobody tells you today. Remember, the God loves you, Christ loves you, and I love you as well. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, evening, night, wherever time zone you're at. Nobody tells you God loves you, I love you, and I love you as well. I'm praying for you guys. Make sure you subscribe to the Second Home Podcast, where I talk about professional wrestling topics. And I put up my matches as Classic Alpha, a professional wrestler of 13 years. Make sure you also subscribe to C3 Ultimate Wrestling. That is me and my wife's professional wrestling company. We have a lot of matches that are coming up. From the 11th hour is 2 more, but then we also have other news that's coming up as well. So make sure you guys pay attention to that as well. Subscribe to both. Shout out to you, Robert Brown, for in the building. What's going on, brother? Hope everything is well. My phone looks a little whack, so if I don't get to the comments, it's because I can't see it. So it's okay, bro. It's all right. It's all right. It happens. I was on the way to work myself, and sometimes I miss a lot of people's lives who I am subscribed to, and sometimes I go back to it, but sometimes I just get tied up. So it happens. So I saw the main event. Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre, and it was not special. Raphael said it. Robert said it. A lot of people said it. A lot of people said this event was not special, and it truly wasn't. If I was ESPN, I probably would have said a lot worse than what that person said, given the whole event a seat. But Cody's selling his head because he was injured by Drew, and Drew eventually selling his leg, and then the stuff with the turnbuckle. Like, okay, like, you know. And then I'm gonna say this too, because I'm with everybody too. I am Team Drew McIntyre. McIntyre definitely should be a champion, or he should have been a champion. He definitely should have. The stuff with Punk, where Punk basically costed him his title run because Damian Priest cashed in on him. Okay, cool, that was fine. After that, he should have won the belt. Like, this would have been a good time for him to win the belt. I've talked about Jey Uso, right, being a better contender than champion with any belt, intercontinental or heavyweight. Tag, sure, we can give him that one. But I felt that he's going to always be a better contender than champion. It's the flip side with Drew McIntyre. I think Drew McIntyre is a better champion than contender. Somebody is saying that out of the last 18 title matches, he's lost 17. I don't know how true that is, but I believe it. He said, I told you. You're right. You're right. I believe that he lost that many title matches. There was rumors of him being frustrated for the past few years. I can see why. I can see why he could be frustrated. If he is. If not, this is part of something, I don't know. Because during the match, Wade was like, hey, why is the referee not paying attention? The referee isn't counting. The referee is trying to stop him from doing moves and stuff. So maybe him and Cody are running back. Hopefully it'll be a lot better than what they did. Like I said, it was just there. Like, it was just there, and it was short. Like, when you got a cut, I don't know if it's true or not, but it seemed like the match may have been cut with time. Now, if you telling me the mixed tag and then the other tag match, that basically went on longer than the championship match, just for that is just crazy to me. And even how, like, the stuff went down. So I don't know if Drew is going to run it back, but if they do, Drew definitely needs to beat Cody. I don't see it happening. I do think they are wasting the potential of Drew McIntyre. I don't think Drew McIntyre should just be a contender. He should definitely be a champion. Now, business side, I don't know if the reason why they're not doing it now, because they are making a lot of money, and usually especially when Americans are making a lot of money and businesses are making money, they try to keep the main champions, the male champions, not the female. They try to keep the American. So Cody being the American Nightmare and the current face of the company, they're probably going to try to keep stuff for business purposes and stuff like that. So that could be a thing too. For example, I don't know if you guys remember what Impact Wrestling used to be on a channel called Destination America. And what happened was, during this time, Bobby Lashley was the champion. Now, Bobby Lashley is American, and he also served in the army and stuff like that. However, Kurt Angle was the American hero, Olympic gold medalist and everything like that. So there was rumors around the time that Destination America chose or asked, could Kurt Angle be the champion for while they was on the channel, on the network. And that's what happened, because Bobby lost the championship out of nowhere against Kurt Angle. And it was a great match. It was a great match. They've had great matches, but still, that's just kind of the stuff that people want, especially with American stuff. You get what I'm saying? So, but still, besides you, James, I know your message was retracted, but I hope everything's all right with you. But yeah, Drew definitely needs a title run. I think they're kind of wasting him at this point. You know, he's a great wrestler. He's believable and stuff like that. Even then, you know, when he was a good guy, even during COVID, he was like the hero. And I'm glad that like Michael Cole and them spoke about it. But like I said, the match was okay. It wasn't special. It just wasn't special. I don't know what they were expecting for Wrestlepalooza. I'm actually wearing a scarf, not a turban, but thank you very much, OMFG Google. Shout out to you. It's not a turban. But anyway, still, just wasn't special. Just wasn't a special match. Now, some people are already tired of Cody, and I can see why people are. And then it's like, when you say Cody needs to take a break, you be like, dang, he shouldn't take a break, because he just took a break because he's doing a whole bunch of other stuff. Obviously, WWE going forward is going to keep Cody as the champion and stuff like that, from investments and stuff like that. And regardless of how I feel and how some people on the internet feel, kids still love Cody. What's going on, Ace? Kids still love Cody. And I say this all the time, like, regardless of how I feel, and maybe I feel like my opinion may be a little more validated than other people and stuff like that, these kids still love Cody. These kids want to see him and stuff. Like, to me, he's okay. Cody is okay. I think that Cody did great, and I think people are tired of Cody because of the 2 to 3 year storyline he had with the Bloodline. He basically beat everybody, and then when he finally got the belt, there was nobody else to beat. The John Cena stuff was just, it wasn't even just there. And I can't, it's not Cody's fault per se, it's the company's fault for what they did. Oh, what up, Caden? What up, man? How you doing? I hope everything's good, man. Long time no see, man. But still, I do think that Wrestlepalooza was not a good event. And it was so bad that some editor from ESPN gave it a C. I believe it's a C, or maybe even a C minus, which is worse. For what they said that the women's match was a highlight, which was Io and Stephanie Vaquer. And they said the mixed tag was like, okay, but like everything else, it just wasn't that good or whatever. So I don't know if that person who did that, they're going to be fired, but they was definitely honest. And hopefully this is a kick to the butt to WWE. That like, just because we're doing business with you and we stream your stuff on our platform, that doesn't mean that you can just give us anything and we just supposed to be like that rocks. Because it definitely didn't rock. It was only one match that I feel like people will watch over, well, two of them. One is the women's match for the title. The other one is the mixed tag, because so many people love all four of those competitors. But other than that, I don't think anything else is just replay value, right? So still, I think that should tell them something right there. Hey, we are paying you a lot of money. And I'm telling you now, we all know, you spending a lot of money on something, you want the best of that something. Wrestlepalooza was not the best of that. It definitely wasn't, right? I'm good. Good to see you. Good to see you too, man. Well, good to hear from you. Let me say that. Good to hear from you, brother. But still, Wrestlepalooza was not something I'd be happy that I spent millions, let alone probably $1 billion. I forgot how much the money was. I would not be happy. Like, basically, WWE pulled their PLEs from Peacock early per their contract. They did all of this stuff to put this kind of matchup, which was trash. I mean, I want to say it's trash. It just wasn't memorable. Now, if I am ESPN and I have an app, I am going to think about other stuff and other platforms that WWE used to work for or worked with and look at if they were good and bad. So let's think about Netflix, right? Wrong Netflix, without me looking it up and seeing what all happened. I remember some of the big things that happened. I remember Cena coming out talking about his retirement tour. I remember Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa for the Ulafala, and The Rock was there. I remember Seth Rollins versus CM Punk in the main event. I remember Rhea Ripley finally defeated Liv Morgan for the women's title. I'm trying to think of anything else, but it was a lot of stuff. It was memorable stuff for the debut of Raw on Netflix. Excuse me. Wrestlepalooza is definitely not one of these memorable things outside of just like 2 matches. 2 out of the 5 matches. Mind you, they could have had 6 matches, but they didn't. They had just 5. And like I said, I don't mind 5 as long as they mean something. 3 out of the 5 matches didn't mean nothing, honestly. John Cena getting beat up by Brock Lesnar for the umpteenth time. What does that do for John Cena in his retirement tour? Nothing. Is John Cena going to run it back with Brock in one of his final appearances? I don't know. What does Brock do now after demolishing John Cena just for the sake of demolishing him? The Vision, you know, obviously they're pushing them up because they are Seth Rollins' group. The match could have been shorter than what it was, and they didn't need to do anything with weapons and stuff. And then Jay hitting himself and freaking out because he saw the blood, that didn't help the cause. That definitely makes more of a point of they shouldn't have did all of that. They didn't have to do all that at all. They did not have to do all of that at all. It made no sense. LA Knight could have had a match. I'm just saying. But still, the women's match was good. They ain't near perfect. The mixed tag was okay. I felt that it went a little too long. Main event wasn't a main event. Yeah, you could have had the women's matches be the main events and stuff like that. Like, we are living in a time where WWE is thinking, I just think they're just too comfortable. They're too comfortable with what they're having because these companies are spending a whole bunch of money for sponsorships and having WWE in their city, and they think that they can just do anything, and eventually it's just not working. I think ESPN being very honest in how they felt whoever the editor was a step in the right direction. So hopefully they do stuff, especially with Paul and WWE saying, hey, we're listening to the fans and stuff like that. Listen to the people that's working with you, or somebody that's in a subset that works with you. You gotta do something. I mean, even now there's like rumors of the WrestleMania 42 prices, and they're saying that these are expensive and stuff like that, and people are saying like WWE at this point is basically only for the elite, which means, you know, the 1% and stuff like that. And I'm like, I spoke about it last time. If a guy takes a gal on a date to a WWE show, he loves her because that stuff is very, very expensive. And me, my problem is I'm not spending all that for a bad experience. Like I said, I live 2 hours away from Indianapolis. You know how upset I would have been driving 2 hours and all that money on these tickets to see these kind of matches? It's just not. It just wasn't good. And hopefully they listen to what the ESPN editor had, because like I said, if I'm ESPN and I got an app and this was on there, I'm gonna be upset because I'm going to compare it to Raw Netflix first episode. I'm going to compare it to it because the Raw Netflix episode, the first one was very, very special. It was very special. It was dope. They had more celebrities and stuff like that. You know, Wrestlepalooza, they had The Undertaker. I mean, Stephanie was in the front, and, you know, I like The Undertaker, but, you know, Undertaker on the bike. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I feel about it, man. It's just like, dog, ESPN gave it a C. I probably would have gave it a D, low-key. Boss, no Diddy. I probably would have just said, oh, no, I wouldn't. And they're very generous, in my opinion. Because what they was doing, it just wasn't it. Man, I used to love WWF. Really didn't watch WCW. When I was younger, I used to be a bigger WCW fan. I thought WCW, and they did. WCW had better matches. It's just that WWE, they had bigger characters and stuff. Like Stone Cold is considered one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, right? But the thing is, he wasn't really wrestling. He was just punching and brawling and drinking beer and throwing people middle fingers. So like the Attitude Era was, that's what it was. It was like Attitude. But WCW used to be my show back in the day. It used to be my show. Some people stopped watching WWE obviously for a while because either they got exposed or just got tired of it. But then when like Roman Reigns and the Bloodline and stuff like that started happening, a lot of people started drawing more of their attention back into WWE. And then that's when a lot of people wanted to see stuff. SmackDown started getting a lot of views. The pay-per-views, the PLEs, they was good like during COVID. Like they really was on to something. You could tell that everybody worked hard. But now, I just think they're just on top of the hill and they sleeping. And you shouldn't sleep. Because now the company that you're working with, they throwing rocks at your feet. Pause. And not only that, with other stuff going on with Mickey Mouse company viewers are going to hesitate canceling that app. That's a good point, S&P. We're living at a time where, well, I don't want to say living at a time. We've been living at a time where it's just like, you know, if I don't like what you do or who you support or what you believe in, I'ma just unsubscribe. I don't care how much I love the product. And I'm not here to say if you're right or wrong if you decide to do that, but people have a right to do that kind of situation. With ESPN basically being owned by Disney, which basically means that WWE is in a step forward to being owned by Mickey Mouse Club and being a Mouseketeer with everybody else. Some people don't want to deal with it. Like I said, companies losing money left and right. It don't even matter if you feel like you support this or you don't support it. People just unsubscribe or don't look at it all together. Look at NFL a couple years ago with the Kaepernick situation. Like they was losing money from people who supported Cap. They was losing money from people who didn't support Cap. They was just losing money altogether. And that's sort of like what Disney is doing too. Outside of, also, we're going to add like Disney's movies ain't been that good. They haven't been that good. They've hired people that don't read comic books, that aren't comic savvy. They've told people, hey, don't even look at the comic books to get inspiration. Just do what we say. So yeah, Disney been losing money for a long time. Now, I know this is a big sidebar. Now, with the Avengers, Doomsday or whatever, they're going to make a lot of money off of it. But they're going to make a lot of money off of it because people want to see Robert Downey Jr. again. And people don't care about what's going on with the story. People will pick up where they left off and be like, oh, that was a good movie, and then go live their life. Like, you know, if you've watched stuff, I've heard some things were good. I do want to see Fantastic Four only because it's available on Disney Plus. I'm not going to buy it. Like, I've watched some of the other movies, and some of these movies, they just wasn't good. Some of these shows aren't interesting. Ironheart wasn't interesting to me, so I didn't watch it. I watched a few episodes of She-Hulk, and that was it. WandaVision was dope. Falcon and the Winter Soldier was dope. I did not watch Loki. The What If first season was dope. The second season don't look interesting. It just don't. But still, going back into it, companies just losing a lot of stuff, man. What's going on, Kobe? Yeah, it seemed like WWF had more money or marketing or something. Yeah, WWF, it was like the Attitude Era. And, you know, a lot of people be like WWF Attitude Era. No, WCW had attitude too with the NWO and stuff like that. You know, to the fact that they was in the lead. The problem with that was WCW could have stayed in the lead if they wasn't feeling themselves with certain things with like the NWO and stuff. You got to blame Eric Bischoff for that. I don't know, you popped up on my YouTube channel, but I subbed you now. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I know live, like going live sometimes just puts you just anywhere on people's like timeline with wrestling and with anything like that. So like that's why I've been like going live more, because I've been trying to get more subscribers. And I do feel like I add value to the wrestling world. You know, I always feel like sometimes you want to contribute something. I mean, I know a lot of people have a platform, so I do hope everybody do right by their platform and, you know, actually drop content and actually be honest about certain things. So, but yeah, man, this is why shows and companies like C3 Ultimate Wrestling is great. You know what I'm saying? Like me and my wife's wrestling company, we do good things. We do good things by the fans and stuff like that. And, you know, we try to make sure it's family friendly and there's reasonable prices for the family and stuff like that. You know, I know a lot of people be like, support indie wrestling, sure, but support C3 Ultimate Wrestling. It's the ultimate wrestling experience and stuff like that. With WWE, you know, I do hope they do better for the sake of fans that are buying tickets and stuff like that. You know me, I found a way to watch their pay-per-views and stuff like that, but like I said, I'm not paying ESPN $30 a month for something like that. You know, at this point, they should just release a statement. If I was WWE, hey, unfortunately, we didn't deliver like we supposed to, but some people did like it, but we do plan to improve the product if we need to do it. They definitely need to do something like that. They definitely need to do something because Wrestlepalooza definitely did not produce. Cabrera was wrestling at a time. I remember that. I remember he hurt his leg or something like that one time. And I remember he had posted it. I hope everything's well with him. I remember he was like the Bo Monster. I remember that. Me and him messaged each other briefly during that time period. But yeah, I definitely remember that, the Bo Monster. I'm kind of mad. I wish I would have thought of that name, like the Bo Monster. That was pretty good. But still, yeah, WWE is just, you know, they just own one, and I do think that ESPN definitely needs to be there. I'm in Indiana. It's like down the street from Chicago. It's funny. I live in a spot called East Chicago, but it's in Indiana. But yeah, I want to wrestle in Texas though, man. Like, Texas is one of my goals. One, from being from it, and two, there's so many great wrestling legends that came there, and wrestling has a history in Texas with the Von Erichs, Stone Cold, Undertaker, Booker T, Mark Henry, Stevie Ray. It's so much history there. The Funks, Terry, Dory, so much history there. And I do wish I had an opportunity to wrestle down there. I tried to hit up Hurricane Pro Wrestling because I know they do stuff at the hotels and stuff in Fort Park, but you know, unfortunately, it just didn't fall through. But I definitely want to wrestle in Texas at least one time. That's like on my bucket list for sure. So, but yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, the WWE, they definitely gotta. Hopefully, they get it together for the sake of their business with ESPN, because they definitely need to improve on the quality of their PLEs. Before I go, I did want to speak about AEW for a little bit. Apparently, people have been putting a lot of reviews on AEW show All Out, and one of the funniest things is people are talking about people stinking. Like, people are saying like they went to the show and people smell so bad. They have no deodorant. They smell bad. One person said like they were sitting close to the ring, but somebody smelled so bad that they said, could we just get new seats? And they wanted to get nosebleeds in an obscure view. That's how bad they said somebody stunk, that they gave away their ringside tickets to go all the way to an obstructed view because somebody stank. Now look, let me tell y'all this. Deodorant is cheap. Axe is not deodorant. Axe is not deodorant. Don't ask me a question, because Axe don't... Stop. Bod is not deodorant. Bod is just fragranted alcohol. You can smell the rubbing alcohol in it. Bod is not deodorant. I wouldn't even trust spray-on deodorant. Use either roll-on or solids. Don't use gel, because gel will wipe off as soon as you try to wipe up. I'm just saying, still, you can't be going to a show stinking. And this ain't the first time I've heard of people talking about going to an AEW show and people just smelling bad. Like, look, I understand wanting to see wrestling and stuff like that, but dog, putting some deodorant, I swear, a couple swipes under each armpit will work. Taking a shower will work too. Like, people are saying it was as bad as Smash Brothers tournaments back in the day. Now, I never attended a Smash Brothers tournament, but so many people say there's so many people that smell bad, they don't have haircuts and all of that stuff. Like, they had to disqualify people because they smell so bad, because they go into these rooms and they play these games for hours that they do not wash up. Don't bring that to a wrestling show, please. Please don't. I have an army buddy that wrestles too. His name is Christian Cervantes from Houston. Lil Poppy. That's dope, man. I definitely want to wrestle in Texas one of these days. But yeah, man, the AEW situation about people stinking, that's not good. That's not good. Like, y'all already talking about y'all family-friendly entertainment, and y'all talking about people stinking. Like, kids ain't trying to smell no stink stuff like that. Like, what's wrong with y'all? And then there was also like another review that was saying that they went to the show and then they started bleeding and people started cursing and stuff like that. And people was like, they brought their kids to the wrestling show because it was cheaper than WWE, because WWE has crazy expensive prices. Like I told you guys, when me and my wife, we tried to go to, we thought about going to WrestleMania this year in Las Vegas for WrestleMania 41. We had not nosebleeds, but they was further in the back. It was like $1,000 for each ticket, and we was like, all right, screw it, it's WrestleMania, we'll just do it. So as soon as we put it in the cart, we was about to pay for it. The service fee was like another $1,000, so they wanted us to pay $3,000 for tickets that wasn't even close to the ring. But we was cool on that. You know, people talked about Ticketmaster being bad and like taking people money and stuff like that, but I didn't know it was that bad. But still, and I'll say that again, and I'll say this one more time before I get off of this. AEW definitely can get a lot of people if they make their content more family friendly. On my Facebook page, I've shared like Darby Allin and John stabbing each other and stuff, bleeding and all that. Do you think that I want to take my children to that? I don't even want to take my 17-year-old. You think I want to take my 5 and my 10-year-old? No, I know nobody want to see. I don't want to see that. I'm an adult, don't want to see that. Heck, I'm a wrestler and don't even want to see that. Y'all do this stuff all the time. So for Tony to even come out and say, oh, well, we got family-friendly ticket prices. All right, cool, but your content ain't family-friendly. Like one person said they went to a show, AEW show, and somebody said the F word, and then all of a sudden the kid was appalled. Like, you know, hey, you want to be family-friendly, be family-friendly. Don't just say that. I don't care if the ticket prices is free. If I find out y'all stabbing each other and cursing, we ain't doing it. But still. But yeah, wrapping up, Wrestlepalooza wasn't that good. ESPN, whoever was the editor, shout out to them for being very, very honest, saying basically it was a seed. So it wasn't special, it was just there. Hopefully WWE do something better than what they did, because this was it just wasn't good. But yeah, AEW, go to AEW, put some All Elite deodorant on. Put on some Arm & Hammer, put it under the right arm and the left arm. I'm telling you, like, you can get deodorant for like $3, especially at Walgreens. Walgreens got some great deodorant. Axe is not deodorant. Febreze is not deodorant. Bod is not deodorant. Oh Lord, that was fun. But shout out to you, Kevin, man. It was good to hear from you, man. I hope everything is good, bro. Hope everything's good with you and your family and stuff. Shout out to you, Robert Brown, OF, OMFG, Google, S&P, Kobe. Well, shout out to y'all, man. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'm on the line to get the kids, so hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is Chris Classic. Stay home.